Welcome to 2022, even though it's already a month late. This is Gear Talk episode 10. Today I want to share with you a story about how I got this Canon 10 to 18 millimeter STM lens for $25, and also a couple of tips on buying used camera gear. So this is a story. I was on Kijiji. It's a used marketplace that we have here in Canada, and I always browse on Kijiji for Canon camera deals, and I came across a Canon 70D with an 18 to 55 STM kit lens, as well as this 10 to 18 millimeter STM lens. It was posted for $500 or $525. I lowballed at $450, and I ended up grabbing it for $475. This camera had under 1,000 actuations. It was around 600 or 700. Came with a camera bag, as well as the Joby tripod. I think it's a 3K tripod, which is I think around $70 brand new. And this whole set was going for $475. So I know that this lens, in the past I've sold it for $200 used. So I figured it was pretty safe buy, fairly unused DSLR camera that's pretty known for video. Even though it doesn't have 4K, I was pretty sure I can get all the money back if I didn't want to keep any of it. So I bought it for $475 and ended up selling the 70D and the kit lens for $450. So I was left with this for $25, as well as the Joby GorillaPod, which I wanted to get one anyways, just for fun. So this wide angle lens, I made a video about it, about why I think it's a good vlogging lens for the Canon R mirrorless cameras. When I made that video, I ended up selling that lens as well as my 16 to 35. So I was kind of on a hunt for another wide angle just for fun, but didn't want to spend too much money on it. So that $475 I thought was a very good deal, because I've seen the Canon T5i with low actuation sell for around $350 Canadian. I figured the 70D was a pretty safe bet. A lot of people know about it. It has a flippy screen. It can record 1080 video, and people just like it for intro to photography. It's a good DSLR camera to begin with. And yeah, so I was able to buy it for a good deal, and I was able to sell it. Someone got a good deal out of it, and I got this lens for essentially $25. So there are 5 opportunities for cheap camera gear. First one is stolen gear. You should definitely be careful about that. If the price is too good to be true, definitely ask more questions on why they're selling. Ask for proof of ownership, like receipts, or if they have the original box. If the box's serial numbers matches the lens or camera bodies, and just ask the reason for why they're selling it for so cheap, or for the price that they are, and see if they have a coherent story. You should also check Facebook local photography groups if people have reported gear missing. Sometimes people will list their serial numbers if it's stolen. If it corresponds to the seller's posts, then you should be careful. I personally wouldn't buy stolen gear, no matter how cheap it is, if I know it's stolen. So that's the first opportunity you can buy something cheap, but I would just be very careful about that. Number 2 is my favorite. It's usually from people who has received camera gear for gifts for Christmas, for their birthday, or they got it from their spouses, boyfriend or girlfriend, that that likes photography, but they themselves aren't a big fan, and if anything happens or they're not interested, they might sell the gear for a lot cheaper than market value or used market value. That was the case for the 70D that I bought. The guy broke up with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend was the one interested in photography and got him this gear, and he just wanted to get rid of it. So a lot of these situations, it's my favorite because the gear is usually very new and unused, or have minimal use, and yeah, and you can get some good deals if you can find those lucky people, I guess, that have cool friends and family that gives them cool gifts. Third point is, if you can find a seasoned photographer who are selling their gear for upgrading their lenses that they've already paid for with their work, or if they're just upgrading camera systems or they're retiring. For them, a lot of their expenses have already been paid off, so they're not as counting on every dollar that they can get from their resale, and is a good chance for you looking for used gear to find a good deal. And this fourth point is kind of related to the third. They kind of overlap. People who tend to sell a package gives a better discount, because as a seller you would want to have less transaction and take less time to piece off individual parts like lenses and camera body, and sometimes they group it in one listing as a package, and if they can sell it all at once, it's more convenient for them, and as a buyer you can get a good deal from that. The only caveat there is you will be spending a lot more money than you intend to, and it requires you to have a little bit of free cash to be able to buy these packages. But normally, if you do your research and know what the resale value for each part is, there's a high chance you could make a profit or easily resell everything and only keep what you want, and get the best deal out of the package. And I really like this method because it gives you an opportunity to try a lot of different gear and lenses, camera bodies and lenses. I've never bought a brand new lens myself. Well, actually I have when I first bought a DSLR. But after that, all my EFL lenses were bought used in packages, and I tested things out and figured out what I wanted and sold what I didn't like and kept the lenses that I liked, and I was able to get them at a good cost. The fifth point is to buy from someone that have lost interest in photography or just no longer want to do it, and they're just trying to recuperate as much cost as they can from the gear. And if they need money right away, you might be able to negotiate a good deal for their camera equipment. And this range from heavily used to not very used at all equipment. And yeah, these are like maybe the 5 different scenarios of where you can get a good deal of used camera and lenses on Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video to share to you about buying used gear, because photography is expensive, and yeah, I found this as a good opportunity to learn a lot about lenses, try a lot of different lenses and cameras, and yeah, and make a decision on what you end up want to keep and not spend all this money buying brand new. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button, and I just want to thank you for sticking around on this channel. I guess entering this new year, finally hit 100 subscribers. I know it's not much, but it's pretty exciting for me. It's a small channel. I didn't know what to expect from it, and yeah, leave comments below on what your experiences are buying used cameras. If I'm just been lucky finding these deals, it definitely takes time to keep an eye on good packages that show up on the used marketplace, but I found it to be fun and rewarding. You meet a lot of photographers and can have lots of conversations with people on why they're selling their gear and whatnot. So yeah, until the next video, cheers.